Race down Avalanche's rock slides and more in 1080 Avalanche. This time, the mountain hits back. Rated everyone. GameCube.
.1080 Avalanche is the sequel to 1080 Snowboarding on the Nintendo 64. There are 6 different game modes: Match Racing, Trick Attack, Gate Challenge, Time Trial, Multiplayer, and Online Local Area Network Multiplayer. The main racing mode is Match Race, which has 4 difficulty settings: Novice, Hard, Expert, and Extreme. The Novice levels have 4 stages, Hard has 5, and Expert has 6. The player starts off first with Novice and can unlock Extreme with progress. For each race, the player is given 3 tickets that serve as lives. If a race is lost, just 1 ticket will be taken. Once they're all gone, the game is over. The races themselves operate with the player racing against a CPU. The playable characters have their own stats that contribute to the style of gameplay. Every final event in the match race requires the player to outrun an avalanche that begins midway through the run or at the start. In Trick Attack, the goal is to perform tricks to earn points before time runs out. Time Trial is a time completion mode that has coins that can be used to unlock secret boards. Gate Challenge is where the player must go through gates and earn points to gain more unlockable content. Multiplayer allows 4 players to compete with one another, and Local Area Network Multiplayer allows for online play. 1080 Avalanche received mostly positive reviews from critics, with IGN giving it a 7.3 out of 10 score, and Game Rankings ranking it 75 out of 100. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest is a remixed version of the original Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time was a massive critical and commercial success on the Nintendo 64 and is considered one of the best video games made. When it was finished completion, Nintendo got started on developing a new challenging version of Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64 DD. Under the title Yura Zelda, its intentions were to add in new content and elements that couldn't be in the original game due to time and storage constraints. However, the 64 DD was a commercial failure in Japan, and Yura Zelda was put on hold. It was then reworked to be a GameCube exclusive. The gameplay of Master Quest is the same as Ocarina of Time, only with a harder difficulty setting. It received mostly positive reviews.
Nice choice.
For a limited time, if you buy a Nintendo GameCube for $99.99, you'll get a bonus disc with 4 classic Zelda games free.
The Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition is a compilation of several installments in the series. On November 17th, Nintendo launched a promotion for anyone who bought a $99 GameCube to get the Collector's Edition for free. The games included in the Collector's Edition are The Legend of Zelda, The Adventure of Link, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. For the extra editions, there's a 20-minute playable demo of The Wind Waker, along with a sneak peek preview of the game, and a retrospective video of the Legend of Zelda series. Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut is a port of Sonic Adventure. In 1994, Sega Technical Institute began developing Sonic Extreme, an exclusive launch title for the Sega Saturn. With games at the time running ship to a 3D world space, Sonic Extreme would be the first 3D game in the series. However, due to a series of setbacks, including development problems and negative reception from Sega executives, Extreme was canceled in 1996. Without a main Sonic title for the Sega Saturn, many felt that it was one of the major factors why the console became a commercial flop. Granted, there were Sonic games on the Saturn like Sonic R and Sonic Jam, but the former is a racing game developed by a collaboration of Traveler's Tales and Sonic Team. The latter is a compilation of Sonic games from the Genesis. Meanwhile, Sonic Team was making original games like Nights into Dreams. Following that, they got to work on a new Sonic project emphasizing a role-playing style of gameplay and story. Development began in July 1997 with over 100 developers behind the project, with it being an exclusive for the upcoming Sega console, the Dreamcast. Sonic Team traveled to various countries such as Cancun, Guatemala, and Peru to get ideas for the game's locations, taking video footage and hundreds of images. One element that became memorable during their trip was seeing sandboarding in Ica, Peru. This element would become a level for Tails. With a new hardware and detail graphics, the developers redesigned the characters to fit within the modern, cool aesthetic. Sega artist Yuji Yukawa took inspiration from graffiti art, Disney animation, and Looney Tunes when it came to the design of Sonic. He gave him green eyes, longer quills, a darker blue color, and a tall, slimmer build. As the game was focusing on the storytelling aspect, the team created a hub station that would allow for exploration. Another addition was a virtual pet system akin to the A-Life in Nights into Dreams. Sonic Adventure was released on December 23, 1998 in Japan and on September 9, 1999 in North America. It garnered positive feedback and quickly became the Dreamcast's best-selling title. Sega said in 2001 that due to the failure of the Saturn and Dreamcast, it would become a third-party publisher. Following the port of Sonic Adventure 2 to the GameCube, the port of Sonic Adventure 1 features upgraded textures and detailed character models in the graphics, a better frame rate, 60 additional missions, and Metal Sonic, which can be unlocked as a playable character if all 130 emblems are gathered. For the game's plot, Dr. Eggman learns about an entity called Chaos, who aided in defending the Chao and the all-powerful Master Emerald. Sonic and Tails must now embark on an adventure to secure the 7 Chaos Emeralds and learn about the mysterious Legend of Chaos as Eggman seeks to use it and the Emeralds for his own game. The gameplay has the player taking control of Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, E102 Gamma, and Big the Cat, each with their own gameplay and story perspective. The player will travel in free-form hub environments called Adventure Hubs, which are access to a character's action stage. Sonic's action stages are fast-paced platformer with spin dash and homing attack as abilities. Tails races against Sonic. Knuckles uses a radar system to find 3 emerald shards. Amy has to solve riddles while avoiding being apprehended by a robot. Gamma has to fire his way through stages, while Big must fish for his beloved frog. The virtual pet element mentioned before takes the form of the Chaos, mystical creatures that play a vital role in the game's story. The player can take care of Chaos in the Chao Garden by feeding them fruit and giving them small animals, which are obtained by fighting enemies in the action stages to improve their abilities. The player's Chao can compete against CPUs in Chao Race as well. Outside of the main campaign, there is Trial Mode, which allows for playing the action stages and mini-games like rail shooting, racing, and sandboarding. Mission Mode, which once unlocked, gives access to play completed action stages. Minigame Collection, which is unlockable, has access to past Sonic games like Sonic Drift, Sonic Drift 2, Sonic Chaos, Tails Sky Patrol, Tails Adventure, Sonic Blast, Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble, Sonic Labyrinth, and 8-bit versions of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut received mixed reviews. The camera setup, collision detection, frame rate issues, dialogue, and voice acting all received criticism. While praise was given to the extra features, DX is considered inferior when compared to its Dreamcast counterpart. DX was re-released as a downloadable game with a high-definition upgrade for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 in September 2010.